What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're gonna take a look at my favorite armor, I guess, design-wise, the Mark V from Hot Toys, from Iron Man 2. And you can order this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. And it's available now, so you can get it right away. It is a, let me just say right off the bat, I would say design-wise, this is my favorite looking armor because it's just so unique. The movie was okay. It wasn't my favorite Iron Man movie, but it doesn't take away from the beauty of this armor. Look at this. And for those who doesn't know, this is like a reissue, not a like, it's a reissue of the diecast version of this, because they released a plastic version way back in the day, but this is so much better, and it didn't increase by that much compared to I think that was the 2018 or 17 diecast release of this figure. And I'm telling you right now, if you missed the first one, don't miss it again, because my god, I've held so many Iron Man figures in my hand, and by far I would say this is the engineering wise, I would say the best looking one so far that I've unboxed, basically. And I've pretty much have seen most of them. And on the back end, if you haven't unboxed an Iron Man, then you're in for a treat. Look at this, all these accessories, and I missed this from Hot Toys. And we've gotten this from Mark 7, where you do have some battle damage pieces. You know, you're not forced to buy another figure for battle damage, and I understand it's not fully battle damage, but having the freedom to just swap armor plates and hands and all that stuff is fun. You know, you see those hands that has some dents on it. The base is beautiful. You got that beautiful, I guess, metallic plaque, and certainly different from you know, the Iron Mans that we're getting now with the hexagonal base. You got some pieces here for the battle damage look, which I absolutely love. And you see the manual here, and I highly suggest you check out every manual for Iron Man figure. And accessory wise, I don't think there's anything better unboxing an Iron Man Hot Toys, because you know you're in for a treat, especially if the Iron Man is like a legacy one. And this, look at this hand right here, that is just beautiful. You can see, you know, the suit underneath it, some dents in it, and this is the plates on his kind of abdominal area. You could switch that out as well. This is the battle damage pieces that I'm talking about. Another one on the right hand side, you can see his armor exposing all the metallic, you know, things inside. It has a big dent or scratch, you know, in the chest piece. I don't even know why there's another, I guess, arc reactor here. I don't, if you know, let me know in the comments. I don't really know what's that for. Probably won't ever use it. This is the shoulder pads, which is, this is not die-cast, because the one that's included is, this is plastic. However, the details are phenomenal, as you can see there. And you had a whole new left arm, which has all dents and damages. You can see the carbon fiber underneath, or whatever mesh material it is from the, you know, being exposed, because the armor has been severed there. Ball joint here, so you can just pop it in and out. Again, look at those rivets on, look at all the details on this armor. It's just amazing. And you see, he does have his suitcase. For all of you who knows, you know, like he it's not nanotech back in Iron Man 2. So he made a suitcase where that's kind of like a portable suit that he does have, so he doesn't have to change, compared to Iron Man 1, which is, they're also coming out with a racing suit version, which I think I'm gonna get as well. You get that battle damage head sculpt, and again the base that is Mark V, like a racing track inspired here, so which is clearly beautiful. And as far as the armor itself, this is all die cast, so you know it's gonna be heavy. It has that cold steel feel to it, which is I love, well, Hot Toys has been built in the foundation of Iron Man, and they make tons of good figures, amazing figures. Star Wars, DC, Marvel, whatever the case is, nothing is better when it's an Iron Man figure, especially if it's well done. And this is perhaps one of their best, if not their best, Iron Man to date. And I'm talking about in a engineering standpoint, because this has a scene where every piece of it was moving. So it's imperative for Hot Toys to make it appear that way in a toy format, because I love myself some 85. Those are iconic, more iconic than Mark V. I'm not talking about being an iconic one. I'm talking about the pure engineer. Look at those back plates on his leg right there. Every little detail is there. You know, the back of his knee, the armor plates in his thighs. They're all separate pieces that makes you believe that it actually does move, which it doesn't. But look at the back of his arm. Look at the details that is being put in here. It is amazing. It's amazing how they do this, in a diecast format with all of the movements and articulation that is upon this figure. It's phenomenal. And the paint application is beautiful as well. Combine that, with the battle damage pieces that you can interchange. What more could you ask for? And I like this paint application that they used here. It's like a bright red. It's really rich, and there's no limitations as far as movement is concerned. Look at all those details in his abdominal section. And let's be honest, that's probably one of the coolest scenes in any Iron Man movie, when he changed into this suit right here. That is just phenomenal. When you can see, like a Transformer-esque suit up there, and they head sculpt. Let's turn off the lights so you could kind of see the lights here. It is nice. Again, I just like the aesthetic of this armor. It's probably just personal preference. It doesn't mean a lot, as far as the suit itself. But again, I'm talking about purely aesthetics here. I love it. Like the lines on his face running all the way down to the back. You see from the side here, and on the back, you can also see some battle damage, paint applications throughout the helmet. See the spine that he does have there. Man, this armor, I'm telling you, you guys gotta have it. You just have to have it. I mean, regardless if you're Iron Man out, the suit is just beautiful. You gotta have it. Man, look at this look right here. The silver, not the traditional, gold and red armor. You see the silver, and the helmet, it's attached via magnet, so it's not that difficult to remove compared to the older ones. It is really nice. And as far as the head sculpt, now I don't know where they based this head sculpt from, because they do have the suit up version, which the hair is a bit messed up. Same cut, on the upper left hand cheek, but this kind of reminds me of Mark IV, but this one's battle damage. I'm not sure. Again, let me know in the comments which this is inspired of. As you guys know, normally I would do the whole transition thing, but I couldn't find it. But then again, this is an older sculpt. He was Tony Stark / Robert Downey was a lot younger in here compared to the Mark 85. So if you're saying, hey, it doesn't look like him, then maybe you're looking at a different timeline here. They're not as sophisticated as it was. It's an older sculpt. Again, not older, but the technology that they use. But all of the paint application, I would say, it'll be today's standards. But nonetheless, it represents Tony Stark, in that timeline. So, it is just imperative that he would look different. And articulation-wise, you can put the head up. It's an Iron Man figure, so it can pretty much do whatever you want. You just be careful, adjusting these pieces first, like the shoulder pads. You don't want it scratching, because this beautiful paintwork. Double jointed elbows there. The bicep armor also does folds up, as you can see here. This guy's articulate, so you can kind of put him in a scene where he's kind of suiting up. And I know there's a different figure for that, and I totally get it. But it's nice that if you're not getting that, you have the option to do it here. Now you can also pull the legs, and all this little armor pieces here, they do open up, especially on the legs, and the inner legs as well, on the calf area. So you can simulate that changing pose where he was suiting up, and it's just beautiful. Really, it is nice. And in the abdominal section does not have any. It just feels like it is gonna move. That's how great how they sculpted this figure at. It's great. You can see all the fine details in here. You can also lift this up from the back, although no one's really gonna see that. But see it. Again, I'm testing all these things, even though it's not on the manuals. You never know. Sometimes there's like a secret things here and there, but it is beautiful. You can lift these pieces up. Even the abdominal section, it is divided into some places, so you could articulate them fully. This one you just pull down, and you would get a better range of motion. If you want to do the ground pound pose, you certainly could. And these pieces of armor on the hips, you can move them around out of the way as well. So let's take some pose session here before we wrap this thing up. And this is I kind of simulated where he was changing here, same pose again. The best you could, right? The best I could here. And you can see all the panels that I can move around are fully extended here. The leg area, the calf section, that is where all the action is going, but you can't see it from this shot. But you could, just saying, you could. Definitely not the most accurate representation, but still, I think it looks pretty cool. If you just take a picture and all that stuff, it looks really nice. And another pose that we're gonna throw with him, he only used this armor, unfortunately, in that race car scene. I wish it would have gotten more screen time, because I honestly do love the armor. But you can see here, I used pretty much all the battle damage pieces that he does have. Pretty much the upper body, the left hand, the two pieces on his ribs. You can see there. So you can see some exposed, pieces on his armor. The shoulder pieces as well. And I think it's just beautiful. The mere fact that you have this option, and which is enough, which is totally enough, honestly, because some of the battle damage, like the Mark 85, could pass into just one figure if you really think about it. And this is him right next to Whiplash, which you could get for pretty cheap nowadays if you know where to look. It's a good companion piece. I did have the Whiplash Mark II back in the day, which is the diecast version. I sold that a while back for pennies, for pretty much nothing, because it just didn't fit my collection back then. I wish now I did not. Regretting it now, even selling my Mark VI. But hey, I was in that phase where I was Iron Man out at that point. So I decided I'm going to keep the necessity Iron Mans that I have. And looking back at it now, Iron Man is so iconic that those pieces would have served right nowadays. Speaking of right, this is how he looks like. I only have 4 Hall of Armors, so I'm missing Mark 6. I got 4, 5, 7, and 6 right now. Do I wish I had 7? Of course I do. I can't house them all right now, but it just shows you how great it looks. For anyone who watched my live streams, you probably have seen this a million times on my backdrop. It's just beautiful. Telling you guys, this Iron Man pieces, man, if they're lined up correctly, they are second to none. Final thoughts. I think it's a must-have for any Iron Man fans out there, Marvel fan, or just a figure fan in general. I can't recommend this enough. Now, this is not as iconic as Mark 85. If you're only going to own one Iron Man, think battle damage 85 is the way to go. However, just by overall shelf presence, and we use that a lot, the amount of things you could do, battle damage pieces and all that stuff, you can't beat Mark 5. If there's any exception that you're gonna make, let's say you're a person who only collects one character, one purchase per character, make this exception. Get 85 and get Mark 5. Like, there's so many good Iron Man out there. Mark 7 is arguably my favorite suit because of it's in Avengers 1 and partly in, I think that he's in like Avengers, I don't know, like Iron Man, in Iron Man 2 as well. But that is iconic. This is just beautiful. I don't know what to say. I mean, the price is pretty decent in my opinion, at $385, I think. That is, the way Hot Toys are charging right now. And this is diecast with so many, swap out pieces. I think you guys are gonna have a lot of fun, playing around with this figure, owning it, and just, it's just gonna be a blast. And it would look really nice in your collection. Plus, like I said, Whiplash is pretty cheap nowadays, so I'm pretty sure if you know where to look, you can get him, and have a companion piece for this, and you won't regret it. Thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you liked this video. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.